Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by today to watch my video as I make this card. I'm calling this the Great Bunny Escape, and I will explain that story as I go through the card. Now I am using a pattern from the Make It From Your Heart Volume 4, Pattern 10, and I've also gone ahead and pulled a couple of papers. So these are some of my leftover pieces from the March and April Mix-In collection. All of these papers are from there. And I've gone ahead and pre-cut this one red piece with my Fancy Borders thin cut. It's this one right here. I really love this set because it's so versatile for both card making and scrapbooking. And then I've cut my bunnies out of the Daisy Meadows card making stamp set. I really love this little bunny. He's so adorable. And it was really easy to cut all four of them that I needed by just using the coordinating thin cut. And then I'm also going to pull in an older stamp of the month, the one that has all of the thank you sentiments on it. And I want to say that was just from this past January. And so then I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring in my bunnies here by taking a pink shimmer brush and just kind of adding a little bit of pink to his paws and his cheeks and the inside of his ears. And I've already done that with the other bunnies. Now you'll notice that I do have 4 bunnies here and that they are all colored differently. And there's a reason for that. So like I said, I'm calling this card the Great Bunny Escape, and it is a thank you card because we recently got 4 little baby bunnies that we are having as pets, and we went camping for Memorial Day weekend. And it was the first time that we were leaving our bunnies behind and going anywhere and leaving them. And so we had to ask my husband's cousin and his wife if they could come over and just kind of take care of the bunnies and be on bunny duty. And so we already felt a little bit, nervous and kind of bad that we were asking them to do such a thing, but they were very gracious and offered to help. Well, they came over on the very first day to take care of the bunnies after we had left and discovered that one of my lovely 3 children had left one of the cage doors open, and the bunnies were who knows where in our basement, our unfinished basement. And so they had to go on a hunt to find all 4 bunnies. And let me tell you, my children have done that to me before when I've gone down to take care of the bunnies, and those little suckers are pretty fast. They do not want to be rounded back up and caught. And so sure enough, my husband's cousin and his wife had quite the time trying to round up all 4 of those bunnies. And there was one, it was my son's bunny that he has named Easter Bunny. It's the little brown one, he was the last one that they could not find. And so it took them a whole day to catch Easter Bunny. And so I'm going to have that brown bunny kind of peeking out from inside the card. You'll see as we continue making it here. And I did that on purpose just to kind of go along with the Great Bunny Escape. They did manage to round up the first 3. I don't want to say quickly or easily, but much easier than they found the last 4th bunny. So that's why he's going to poke out from inside the card. So I have stamped this sentiment from that stamp of the month, and I'm going to have that on the front. And then I have colored all of my bunnies so that they match, our pets. So we have Easter Bunny is the brown chocolate bunny. And then we have Peter is the white bunny with the little cool patch around his eye. And then we have Baxter and Rosie, who are both kind of a gray-black color. And so what I want to do, I really want to make this a special card because I am so grateful for everything that they did for us that weekend, taking care of the bunnies and rounding them up, and just really kind of the nightmare that they had to go through for us. So I'm going to add some hand stitching to my card. Just, like I said, I want to do whatever I can to make this card extra special and just kind of show my gratitude. So I just used an old hole punch guide that I have from Close to My Heart, and I just kind of went through and I added just a straight line of stitching across the top. And then I decided I wanted a little something more, and there is a little scalloped stitch on there as well, so I went and put that underneath. Now that ruler is not available anymore. It is an older tool that I have in my stash, but you could easily do this just by kind of drawing with a pencil and then taking the piercing tool and just poking your own holes through your paper. And so I really love to do stitching. And so that's that. And I used that with just some regular black DMC embroidery thread. All right, and so now I'm ready to kind of start putting these guys together. I'm going to have these 3 bunnies on the front. I'm putting Peter, who is the white bunny, in the middle just because he is different from the other 2. And I thought that kind of balanced it a little bit. And then Originally I was going to have that red scallop on the bottom. That's what it shows in the pattern 10 of the Make It From Your Heart pattern. But I decided that, doing that really kind of hid too much of all that stitching that I just did. And so I flipped it around, and I like it much better with having that stitching on the bottom and the other scallop up at the top. And then again, because I was kind of hiding some of that stitching that I just did, I am grouping the bunnies closer together. So it looks like they're all kind of hanging out. And then, like I said, Easter Bunny, the little brown guy, he's going to be poking out from inside of the card because he was the little stinker who was really hiding. I'm not even really sure where they found him in the basement. They had to come back like multiple times, leave food and water out, and try to lure him out. I mean, it really was such an adventure. They said it ended up being kind of a lot of fun. They got a lot of laughs out of it, but we really just felt so horrible that they had to go through that on our behalf. And so now we're a little nervous to leave them again on some later camping trips that we have planned this summer, but hopefully my children just won't leave the cage doors open and we won't ever have to deal with this again. And of course, nobody wanted to take any responsibility for it. Apparently it was not me who did it. So I'm sure if you have children, you're familiar with that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start grouping these bunnies here on the front of the card. And like I said, I just kind of I popped up Peter, who is the white one in the center, on some foam tape. And then that way I can slide the other two just slightly behind him and really just kind of group them together. Now I decided that I needed a little bit more substance behind Easter Bunny, who is going to be poking out from the inside. So I went ahead and die cut out 2 more of those white bunnies from that stamp set. And I'm just going to kind of stack them, and that way he's got a little bit more substance since he is sticking out. Now, if I had needed to send this in the mail, obviously this design wouldn't work unless I had a larger envelope, but I'm going to be able to just kind of hand it to them. And so that's not such a big deal to kind of have this poking out in this way because it will be hand delivered. So like I said, here I'm just kind of eyeballing where he's going to be poking out so that I can add a little bit of that adhesive behind him and then just kind of tuck him to the inside of the card. And then I will grab these extra 2 that I cut out of the White Daisy cardstock and just stack them behind. And then that also kind of helps to conceal some of that marker that is showing through, because I did use my Tri-Blend markers to color the bunnies in, and then that way they kind of bleed through the paper a little bit and it just makes it look cleaner. And then like I said, it adds a little bit more substance since he is sticking out on his own. And that's pretty much it. The only other thing I'm going to add, I have some Onyx liquid pearls, and I'm going to add a couple of little black dots just kind of scattered around either side of my little bunny grouping here, just to give it a little something extra. And that's pretty much it. The card for the Great Bunny Escape is done. And I hope you guys enjoyed hearing the story and watching this card come together. Thanks for stopping by today. Happy crafting.